back in the kitchen from Inside Out with Barb. Woohoo! So today we have some gluten-free brownies that we are going to make. So what we have here is some cacao, some chocolate chips, eggs, we have some raw almond butter that we'll be adding into our mix, and we also have some agave, and if you'd like you can use maple syrup as well too, and if you'd like to add some hemp hearts you can, but we are going to use this, which is a brown rice chocolate protein, just to add some more flavor into our brownie mix. So I've got a little bit of almond butter in here already, and we're going to add the rest of this into our bowl. So this is going to give it some texture. It's also going to help bind the product, the ingredients all together. So a little work here. So I hope you're working out to get this recipe down pat. Lots of stirring and lots of mixing. Just a little bit more. So we're going to be using about 1 16 ounces of raw almond butter. And you can also probably use another type of butter if you like. But being safe and staying away from the nuts, peanuts, we're using almond. You could probably even use sunflower butter too if you like. So there you go, we used all of that. And I'm just going to soften it down so I can put the other ingredients in. So we're going to take some of our cacao powder here and add this to the mix. So this is a half a cup of cacao powder, and we'll blend that in as well. Cacao powder actually is really good for us. It has a natural magnesium in it. So you don't need to have a lot of this. One piece will help those cravings for chocolate. So folding that in, and we're going to add some of the other ingredients, which is our agave. And agave, we're going to be using quite a bit of this. It calls for 1 cup, and actually we're going to go back to this one so I can get my cup. So we're going to add the chocolate chips in. Add those in. Then I can use this cup to add the agave. So agave, we're adding 1 1/4 cup. We're almost there. So that's taking all of that. I'm gonna dump that all in. Put that off to the side because now we're done with that. Let me just bind this together. So I'm going to fold it, getting it mixed in there really well. And remember, there's actually no flour in this recipe. We're using the protein powder. All right, so we're adding 2 eggs. So our first egg. And our second egg. We'll get that all blended in there as well. So we've got all the ingredients ready. And then come on over to the stove. We're going to put this in our baking pan. The temperature is 350 for about 35 to 40 minutes baking. It's going to be so yummy and delicious. Let's move my spoon out of the way so I can get all of it. Down to the last drop. So I'm just going to flatten it out here on our pan. These are great for freezing as well too. You can pull them out when you have guests over. So those chunks in there are actually almond chunks because we used an almond butter that had chunks. But you can use also the smooth one. Look at that. Wow, beautiful. And we'll bring it over to the oven and slide it in for 35 minutes to 40 minutes. We'll check up on it. Oh, that was a lot of work, but I'm sure it's going to be worth it. Welcome back. We're waiting for our brownies to cook. So in the meantime, we like to share what we talked about last week, which is our riddles. So what has hearts and no other organs? Did you get it? It was a deck of cards. And our riddle for today is, what chocolate has 2 female pronouns? Leave it down below and we'll get you next week. I have my oven mitts ready to go. I think it's ready. Ooh, look at that. Let's bring it over here. Just gonna let it cool down before we can cut it and take a bite. Wow, look at that. Yum. So feedbacks would be amazing to let us know if you've tried any of our recipes and how were they. And if there's any other recipes that you'd like us to share, let us know as well too. So follow us on our YouTube channel and support us and share us with other friends and family members. What does it go? How does it go? Just teasing. Beep beep. Beep beep.